Professor Goose Debunks the Three Little Pigs. Written by Paulette Bergensen, illustrated by Alex G. Griffiths. Well, cock my goose, this is outrageous. My great aunt, Mother Goose, never fact-checked the science in her stories. As a renowned and distinguished scientist, I feel obligated to correct any errors and omissions. Join me, Professor Mary Curious Goose, as I debunk this faulty fairy tale. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. The first little pig ate and played all day. The second lay in the mud all day. The third little pig sweated and worked hard all day. When they were ready for their big pig lives, the three little pigs said goodbye to their mother. "Watch out for the big bad wolf," she cried. "Save your own bacon." Oink! This faulty fable perpetrates so many myths about the noble pig. Pigs are often portrayed as ravenous, dirty, sweaty nitwits. Zoologists know this is all wrong, quite the opposite. In fact, I'd be flappy happy if somebody calls me a pig. Professor Goose fact check. Zoologists study animals. They've observed that in the wild, pigs will eat almost anything, but they stop eating when they are full. Pigs prefer to live in clean spaces, and they have few sweat glands and hardly sweat at all. Wallowing in mud lowers their body temperature on hot days. Pigs are smarter than dogs, and they are very social. Nitty fact, when pigs run, they zigzag to confuse predators in pursuit. The first little pig bought a load of straw. He built a house with the straw as quickly as he could. He spent the rest of the day playing and snacking on double-decker truffle sandwiches. I like to play too. With a wondrous wingspan like mine, I am highly in demand on faculty sports teams. And now for a fact-check timeout. While straws can indeed be used to build a house, this little pig clearly didn't research the best materials to use or make a plan to build a strong and stable structure. Professor Goose's fact check. Straw is a material that is made of matter. Everything is made of matter, even you. Formed by tinsy-wincy molecules too small to see with your eyes. Matter takes up space and has weight. It is usually found in one of the three states: solid, liquid, and gas. Straw is a solid. Matter has many properties such as color, shape, size, and flexibility. Nitty fact, when pieces of straw are bundled together into tightly wrapped bales, they are strong enough to resist forces up, down, and sideways. Along came the big bad wolf. Like, little pig, let me come in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, said the little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in, said the wolf. And he did. The little pig escaped and zigzagged all the way to his sister's house. No way! First of all, only humans have chins. And second, even if the wolf has super lungs, he couldn't blow a house in. You couldn't either. Even a blowhard professor couldn't breathe. Breath does not have enough force to knock down structures. It takes a very strong windstorm to blow a house in or out. Professor Goose's fact check. Meteorologists study the atmosphere and changes that cause weather like rain, snow, and wind. They forecast weather over minutes, hours, and days. They can tell us when windstorms are coming so we can be prepared to keep ourselves and our homes safe. The most dangerous windstorms spiral like spinning tops, destroying whatever lies in their path. Most hurricanes and typhoons start over water and can move over land. Tornadoes form over land, and some of them are definitely strong enough to blow a house down. The second little pig had built her house out of sticks and was indulging in a relaxing mud bath when along came the big bad wolf. Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hairs of her chinny chin chins, said the pig. Then the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. The two little piggies escaped and zigzagged all the way to their sister's house. I'm ready to honk and hiss. A lone wolf preying on pigs? Ha! Real wolves are pack animals. They hunt, live, and raise their young in family groups. And although they might be big, they're not so bad. Wolfy breaths don't knock down those flimsy houses, but it wouldn't have taken much more than that. The little pigs should have taken my Structure 101 course. Professor Goose's fact check. In science, the word structure has many meanings. A structure can be a solid object that has size, shape, and purpose, and holds a load. Houses are structures that have support frameworks and that stand up to forces coming from all angles. They can be made strong with beams and trusses constructed out of sturdy materials like wood, concrete, or metal. A few more beams have trusses might have helped you wood house, piggy number 2. The third little pig had worked hard to plan, design, and build a sturdy brick house. Along came the big bad wolf. Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hairs of her chinny chin chins, said the pigs. Then the wolf huffed and puffed. He puffed and huffed. He puffed and huffed and puffed, but the house did not blow in. The end. Or is it? This is where most people think the fairy tale ends. Au contraire. In my research, I discovered many versions of the story. The oldest versions, like many fairy tales, had patterns of 3. The wolf tries to trick the 3 little pigs 3 more times. Keep reading to find more patterns. Professor Goose's fact checks. There are patterns in everything, in stories, in music, in nature, and in math. Recognizing and creating patterns helps us make predictions based on our observations. Patterns can be really helpful when solving some everyday problems with math, like making 3 little pigs shopping lists. If 3 little pigs each eat 2 apples a day, how many apples do they buy each week? The wolf tried to trick the little pigs into thinking he'd changed his ways. He invited the first little pig to go apple picking with him. A trap. But the pig was on the wolf's palm. He got to the apple orchard early, picked enough apples for a delicious pie, then zigzagged all the way home. The wolf was angry when he realized he was too late, but he wasn't ready to give up. Next, the wolf invited the second little pig to go apple picking. The pig got there early, but this time the wolf arrived early too. So the pig threw an apple as far as she could. Unable to resist a game of fetch, the wolf ran after it. The second little pig escaped and zigzagged all the way home. The wolf tried a third time. He invited the third little pig to the fair, but the pig wasn't fooled. She got there 3 hours early. By the time the wolf arrived, she had ridden the Ferris wheel 3 times and was on her 3rd apple pastry. When the pig saw the wolf, she jumped into an apple barrel and rolled down the hill toward him. Terrified of being flattened, the wolf ran all the way home in a perfect straight line. It's true what they say, an apple a day keeps Wolfie away. As a scientist, I can tell you that there is much more efficient way to write this story. How many times did the pig say, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin"? How many times did the wolf huff and puff? How many times did the wolf try to trick the three little pigs? The author of this fairy tale could have saved their pen ink and written repeat times 3 or create a loop like we did in a coding. Professor Goose's fact check. Coding is telling a computer what you want it to do. All stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and so do computer instructions. Some computer scientists call the beginning next, and the end last. This is an example of an algorithm. If you want the same action to happen over and over again, you only have to tell the computer once, and it will repeat the action as many times as you instruct it to. This is called looping. The big bad wolf went back to the house of the three little pigs. He told them, "A great rolling thing came right at me. Ha! It was me in a barrel. You were frightened if you wee little me," said the third little pig. The wolf was furious. "I'm going to climb down your chimney and eat you all up," he howled. But the three little pigs had a surprise waiting for the wolf. It wasn't one he liked very much. So the big bad wolf ran away and was never seen again. That is the end of the story, but based on my observations, I propose a different conclusion. The first pig became a professional basketball player. The second pig built a deluxe mud bath. And the third pig constructed a fence. A very strong, very sturdy, very wolf-proof fence. And the wolf? The big bad wolf returned to his pack where he gave up huffing and puffing. Being so smart, he studied at the Canine College of Meteorology. Now instead of chasing pigs, he chases wild storms. This ending has been fact-checked by Professor Mary C. Goose. The end.